Hello everybody, and in today's video I have some Eldrazi lore prepared for you, and while I'll be talking about that, we are going to be playing some Gruul Eldrazi in Pauper with a little bit of sacrifice energy using the Blood Aspirant. I will see you in the games. Not the Uncle Buddha here, and not with the Zero Lander. We play basically 22 lands, so a Zero Lander is a little bit of a disappointment. Let me mulligan this one. Okay, this one is much better. I will keep and ditch one Glimpse. And we have a couple of things to talk about, right? I promised you we will talk about the deck, we will talk about some Eldrazi lore, because the lore of Eldrazi is actually surprisingly interesting, and then we will have to talk about the game a little bit, so that you guys know what's going on. Already a very weird deck we're playing against, Cycle Troll with Tree of Tails. I actually think this is Golgari Exhume. They play the Tree of Tails if they mill it for the Kitten Gravestalker, in my opinion. But regardless of that, let's talk about some Eldrazi's, right? So what's crazy about the Eldrazi's is basically all of the Eldrazi's are basically planeswalkers, which is crazy to say, right? We have no bond. Well, we do have the Swarmkeeper. Do I want to go for that? I mean, yeah, if we find like a Rumble, that might be good. Let's run it. Let's go for the Swarmkeeper. So yeah, even the Repurposer, just small chuds like this, are planeswalkers. And the reason why is because the Eldrazi's don't really live on planes or worlds. What is this? Whenever this creature or another ally you control enters each okay, I think I made a mistake. This is an ally deck. Okay. This is Monday morning, by the way, so we are going to be playing against some crazy stuff right here. Sadly, nothing to do here, which is a-okay. I'm just gonna play the landscape and pass the turn. So Eldrazi's don't really live on planes. They exist, from what I could read, in something called the Blind Eternities, which are basically these empty and chaotic spaces between planes, which, surprise surprise, are the same things that planeswalkers live in. So this guy here is basically a planeswalker, and the Eldrazi spawn it summons when we cast it is a planeswalker as well. That is pretty crazy, right? We will get hit for one. Usually we don't struggle with lands. I've even added some more so that, you know, we can actually cast all the things on curve. I'm gonna go mountain here. Surprising thing about this deck is, yeah, okay, no lands. Kinda sucks, but that's okay. Gonna go Blood Aspirant. We really need a land bad here. Surprising thing about this deck is the fact that I actually don't like playing Kalni Gardens in it. Since we are so oriented on the mid-range beatdown plan with multiple threats, I really feel like playing a tapped land, which also taps for only one of the colors we need, feels really bad. The second thing about Eldrazi I wanted to talk about, and this one is really sick, is, and I'm not sure how true, okay, what is the healer doing in the deck then? This looks like just Reanimate. I was kinda right with the Reanimate package, but what is the healer doing in the deck? I'm so confused. Avenging Hunter. Okay, well, I'm gonna play a Blood Aspirant, and this hand just folded completely. Yeah. The second thing about Eldrazi, sorry, you know, we will be doing a lot of back and forth between the deck, the game, and the Eldrazi lore we are supposed to talk about, is the fact that when you see an Eldrazi, let's say the Repurposer again, okay, Blood Aspirant sacrifice. Oh, I should have sacked maybe the Swarmkeeper. Oh god. Yeah, because it's a sack trigger. I think we're gonna lose anyway, it's okay. When you see an Eldrazi like this, and you see its body, you don't see their full form. I think I've read about something like hand in the pond effect, meaning that if you have your hand in the pond and the fish sees like your 5 fingers, let's say, or your hand, they don't see the rest of your body, and the same is true for Eldrazi. Whenever you see their body, there is actually more than meets the eye. We're gonna concede, by the way, I'll talk about more in the sideboard. Give me triple relic, double assault, ditch some lightning bolts, I think. We don't need rancor, let's resubmit. So even the Eldrazi spawn has its physical body like just on the surface, and then behind that there's like much more to it. It's so hard to explain. It's actually pretty like esoteric in a way. This hand is, Jesus Christ, what are we drawing today? What are we drawing today? This hand has Avenging Hunter, and we're going first. I'm gonna keep whatever. So the Eldrazi's are basically just avatars, or some extensions, you could say, of their original forms, which is really cool. So basically most Eldrazi's just don't look like the way they're depicted on their art. There is much more to them. So that is probably the most interesting thing about Eldrazi, that their physical form is just a really small part of their being. Best draw, Relic, not even close. Glimpse, yikes, this game doesn't really like us, I think. Okay, let's play more Backwoods Pass. And the third piece of their lore, which we kinda knew, if you're kinda like, let's say we pay attention to the wording on these cards, you know, the Annihilators and what Eldrazi's do, often they work with exile mechanics, even in Pauper that's true, is their primary goal is to consume the mana energy and life energy from a world. We finally find a good card, Malevolent Trumbull. Let's run it. Riding Chrysalis, yeah, I can work with that. I can work with Riding Chrysalis. I'm gonna prepare Bequeathal on my spawn. If they cast it down, it's fine. They don't, okay? Because next turn I can go Chrysalis, right? With my natural land. So they transform like absolutely everything they touch that comes into contact with them to Bismuth, which is a word I've heard before, but had no idea what it actually means. Blight Priest, what the hell are we playing against? The Reanimator part of this deck looks really cool, but then this is the other part, and that feels really weird. Let's go Forest. We could go Avenging Hunter, but if they go Tiding Blade, we're cooked, so I think I'll prepare myself with an Riding Chrysalis, and I tapped wrong, okay. And Bismuth is just straight up dust. So that is kind of the part where the Annihilator keyword comes into play, right? Basically, whatever the Eldrazi touches, they annihilate. Now, I'm not sure if cards like Riding Chrysalis or even the spawns are like lesser Eldrazi's or something like that. Here is the healer yet again, okay. So they've got a chain going, we will Horrific Assault. We can even Avenging Hunter the same turn. I think I'll kill the Priest, it's 3-drop. And what's really cool too is the fact that they transform everything they touch to dust. I'm not sure if it's a bad thing or a good thing, because when they do that, they recycle the energy of the plane they turn to dust back to the universe. So the question is like, maybe they are just trash collectors and the Eldrazi are actually helpful. I'm not really sure how good or bad this is, because the Eldrazi's are portrayed as bad entities, right? They're evil. But maybe there is more than meets the eye. Okay, we're gonna go Horrific Assault, choose the Chrysalis to the Priest. It has 2 lives, so that's fine. Okay, we're gonna go add this. Yep. Now this is looking like a pretty decent hand. We also find the Forest. Let's see how much we need. Yep, this is simple. I'm gonna go Avenging Hunter, and I'm not gonna, yes, I will play the Relic, but we can activate it with the spawn, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna pick up a mountain this time. Let's play a Relic. Let's exile this Blight Priest, and we can even attack for 4. Beautiful turn right there. The next thing about the Eldrazi's is they belong to 3 lineages. Now, they are led by their Titans, and if you guys play Magic, you probably know about them. We don't really have them in Pauper, because they are just too powerful, and you know, Pauper is defined by these, let's say, lesser Eldrazi's, but Yulamok and Kozilek and Emrakul, the Emrakul being probably the most popular one, are the 3 Titans. Now, how they look, I'm not gonna go too deep into that, because you guys, number 1, probably know them, so it would be a waste of time. Number 2, you guys probably know the cards, you know, they come from, so you can just search up the art, and you guys will, you know, make an image for yourself of how they actually look. And their appearance is very esoteric as well, not gonna lie. Okay, venture to the Undercity. I'm gonna go Forge. This little guy has Trample, so let's put the counters on him. I'm gonna instantly exile the Troll. Let's draw a Forest. Okay, so I think before we attack, it would be correct to do 1, 2, 3 and go for a glimpse to see what we're working with, and we working with some good stuff. We can't cast the Hunter, which sucks, but it will become a spawn, which is pretty good. I think I want to spawn from this too. I'm gonna cast the Swarmkeeper. I'm gonna play a Forest from my hand. I'm gonna go to combat and attack. I don't really care about the healer being on the board. I'm gonna save the Assault for like a Troll or something, I think. They're actually gonna chump. Okay. Is there like a combat trick, like a Toxin Analysis or something? There is not. They go to 8. That's pretty good. We get 2 spawns. Put a counter on the guy. Yep, it's pretty fine. Healer. Do I care if they get the healer back? Honestly, no, I think. If they have like a, well, I also need a card. I'm gonna pop this, I think. Since Eldrazi are just portrayed as evil entities, of course in Magic, that there is a force that actively fights against them. And the most mana-rich plane in the MTG universe, when I guess the Eldrazi were created by the creators, was Zendikar, right? So the Force, who was supposed to fight off Eldrazi's, actually wanted to trap them on Zednikar. It's 1/1, let's go. Because that was the most mana-rich plane in MTG, so that is pretty sick. Yeah, I think I'm just... okay, we win the match. Yeah, I don't know what this was, but I guess we talked about Eldrazi, so it wasn't that bad. We find a zero-lander again, which is less than ideal, of course. Let's mulligan. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This hand is actually awesome. Let's keep. I think I'll ditch the Glimpse for now. So yeah, to fight off the Eldrazi's, who were now invading Zednikar because they were lured there. This is Food Pestilence, that's a hard matchup. There were 3 main protectors to accomplish this goal. And you guys might know them. Again, you guys don't know them from Pauper. They are, let's say, higher rarity than common. And they are, surprisingly, Planeswalkers, which kind of works very well with the Eldrazi theme. And Eldrazi's being kind of like Planeswalkers, right? In a way. Blood Aspirant, okay, I think I'm gonna go Nest Invader, just try to push damage. Queedle, okay. I'm gonna go Wadling, Roostsea, pick up a Forest. I'm gonna go Rumble, another Chrysalis, that's pretty good. I'm gonna go Chrysalis. Yes, guys, getting distracted by the game. Surprisingly difficult, even for me, to play Magic and talk about lore, but this is what we're here to do. They're gonna cast down the Swarmkeeper, I think. Yeah. The first one was Ugin or Eugen. I think Ugin, it's how it's pronounced. The dragon, the colorless planeswalker. You guys probably know him. Next one was, and this was pretty surprising to me, I actually thought this guy would be with them, was Sorin Markov, the vampire. You guys probably know him too. And then Nahiri, and she's the best. She was the one who actually built the Hedrons, if you guys know the Hedrons. The floating stone diamonds. You guys love them on lands. I've heard somebody say they love the Hedron lands, you know, from Zednikar, and they indeed are pretty slick. I think I'm gonna go... actually, I've Riding Chrysalis. I'm gonna go Bequeathal on the Eldrazi spawn. Maybe we can find land. That's why I'm doing this. If you wanna cast down my spawn, I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna go Blood Aspirant. Backwoods, okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play a regular forest here. Yeah. So Nahiri was really a big help in trapping the Eldrazi because she built the Hedrons. And I think Nahiri is pretty sick. I'm not sure if there is a copy of Nahiri that is actually competitively playable. I do know that, you know, there is Sorin that is good, and Ugin is really good, you know, in Tron, for example. And Sorin, I think there is a combo with him in Pioneer. But Nahiri, I've seen her played sometimes. I think it was in some prison deck in Modern, but other than that, not really. I think she's pretty slick though. I kind of like her. Okay, let's see what they do. Nutrient block, okay. I'm gonna just try to play everything. We are just gonna try to overwhelm them, you know, if it's Food Pestilence, which it obviously is, we're gonna try to overwhelm them, push as much damage as we can, find the Glimpse. That's nice for, I think, next turn. I have only 1 red, so I should have played the... yeah, that sucks. I have only 1 red, so I'm actually gonna go for another Chrysalis. I'm gonna do this pre-combat. If they kill the Chris, like if they try to kill the Chris in combat, they probably have a cast down here. Okay, sure, let's go to combat, attack. Oh, how much damage do I try to push here? Oh, none. Okay, cool. They made it very easy for us, so we don't have to think about sacrificing. And guess what? Nahiri and, you know, Sorin and Ugin actually managed to trap the Eldrazi on Zednikar, so their physical forms actually were trapped, which is a huge achievement, of course, for them. Heaped Harvest, alright. But of course, if they just were trapped and that was the end of the story, that would be too easy. There is also, you know, part called The Release, which, as you may know... hold on. Let me hold the thought real quick. I think I'll do a couple of meddlings here. Let me go Blood Aspirant. Let me go Swarmkeeper. Let me actually play a Chrysalis. I'll try to push as much damage as we can here. They sack the Harvest, gain 3. Yeah, so there is this Planeswalker too, named Nicol Bolas. You guys probably know him. And he is kinda evil. Let's just say he wanted to free the Eldrazi's, which is, you know, definitely something you could want to do, and he did. He did want to do that. And there are 3 Planeswalkers you guys probably know as well. Sarkhan, who is a little bit less known, I feel, but the other 2, they are pretty iconic. It's Chandra and Jace, and they accidentally help. Okay, Pestilence. Pestilence doesn't really do much here. We're gonna suck all that. And this... so they accidentally helped Nicol Bolas, which, you know, kinda sucks for them. But it is what it is. So they did accidentally help them, and guess what? The Titans woke up. So that is pretty bad for Zednikar, huh? Yeah, since the only purpose of Eldrazi is to actually just drain the mana and life force and basically recycle the plane to the universe, it didn't look really good for Zednikar. But then Jace and Chandra, who kinda regretted that, with the help of Gideon and Nissa, who you guys may know from the Gatewatch set, formed a Gatewatch. Yeah, a Gatewatch. Okay, we have a pretty clean play here. We can go Nest Invader and we win. Nice. So they formed a Gatewatch, who is basically like a clan designed to battle against Eldrazi's. Now, the question is, what do we do here? I think we want Troublemaker Oofs, since they have Pestilence. I think Lightning Bolt is pretty bad against them, actually. Do we want Relic of Progenitus? I think it might be kinda good, actually. But I also want to push as much damage as I can, so it's pretty hard. I'm gonna try with no Relic, and we're gonna see, I suppose. Although, rebuying Cauldron Familiars does sound pretty annoying. I think I want like 2 Relics. Got 1 Glimpse, got 1 Rumble. We're gonna be high rolling here. So, the Gatewatch clan, who were the Planeswalkers, Chase, Chandra, Gideon, and Nissa, they actually used the entire mana that was in Zednikar to pull them into the pond. Now, I've read that, and I don't really know what does that mean. This is a key, by the way. I don't really know what exactly does it mean to pull them into a pond, but they basically burned them to cinders. So, you know, that was pretty awesome for Zednikar. So they basically saved Zednikar in that way, right? And it's really funny because the set Gatewatch was named exactly just after this alliance of Planeswalkers who are trying to just do the right thing, right? Okay, here's a Cauldron Familiar. Ooh, they're going fast. Pretty good for them here. Light Aspirant, alright. Go Nest Invader. But what's also really important to mention that only the 2 Titans were burned to cinders. It was Ulamog or Ulamog and Kozilek, and Emrakul was still roaming free, right? So, I mean, it was a success because Kozilek and Ulamog were definitely really powerful, right? No question about that. But Emrakul was still free, and that wasn't ideal. Here we have a pretty sweet play of just Aspirant and Rumble, I think. Cloakwood Swarmkeeper. Yeah, that's more pressure. Better than lands, right? We also need to find the... if they go Pestilence, it's already not awesome. We also kinda need to find the guy, right? The Oof. If they actually go for Pestilence, might be pretty important. They're gonna just bring this back with the Nutrient Block. They could do that on their end step, because this guy could now attack, which I don't think it will, but they go Heat Harvest, never mind. So no Pestilence yet. And now Emrakul had different plans, right? Now he didn't really care about Zednikar anymore, because guess what? All the mana there was already used to trap him and burned his 2 companions to cinders, so that was pretty bad for him. Now he cared about the Innistrad. Now Innistrad is a set you guys know, and maybe even you guys love, and I definitely love Innistrad as well. Nice, Troublemaker Oof, beautiful draw. So what do we do here? Do we just play Wrathing Chrysalis? Think that might be the right play. We could go Swarmkeeper. Yeah, I think I like that more. Swarmkeeper. If they have Defile, they probably have Defile. If they have Defile, I should have Chrysalis first. But it doesn't, actually, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Let's go Chris. Hit for 5. Bring back the Familiar, right? Tragic Slip my Chris. Yep, it's dead. But when Emrakul decided to invade Innistrad, then Emrakul has actually decided the plane is not ready for her power. Now, the lore says that Emrakul helped Tameo, who is a planeswalker, again, you guys probably know Tameo, helped trap herself, so Emrakul, in the moon of Innistrad. So that's kind of weird, right? So Emrakul came into Innistrad, decided the plane wasn't ready for her yet, and then helped Tameo trap Emrakul in the moon of Innistrad. Like, okay, I guess that's interesting. We found Bristling Backwoods. Okay, we're gonna, you know, keep this Oof. Keep this Oof. I think we can go Rumble first, probably. I think that's decently reasonable. Let's go Rumble. Swarmkeeper, Sagu, Troublemaker. I guess give me Troublemaker. Put into Graveyard. They can sack it, so that's not very good. We have Troublemaker number 1. Okay. I could go Bequeathal here. I think I'm gonna try to Bequeathal. Let's see if they cast it down. So Emrakul should be in the Moon of Innistrad waiting. Okay, they will ditch my 2 cards. I should have sacked it. That's a mistake. Now this Aspirant is not big enough. That's actually a huge mistake. Yeah, terrible, terrible mistake, honestly. Maybe even game losing, but we're gonna see. Guy blocks there, yeah. They have 1 card though. I mean, 2 with the Nutrient Block. Let's go Backwoods. Here it is, yeah. Bring this guy back. Here is Pestilence. We have an Oof ready, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. We can suck all the spawns, I suppose. Mountain. Okay, so we're gonna lose a significant amount of our board, which isn't great, but I'm gonna go to combat and attack with everything. Kind of force them to use the Pestilence if they want. Wait, I'm actually trolling. I needed to play the Troublemaker first. I have nothing to Oof, right? Oh god. I have no token to oof if I sacrifice the spawns. That's actually a terrible mistake too. Oh yeah, I should have instantly just oofed, because now if they pestilence me, it's bad. The problem is they can even pestilence in response to oof, so it's kind of bad anyway, actually. Yeah, it's kind of bad anyway. Let's attack here. When this bargain, as I cast this spell. Oh, okay. As I cast the spell. So it actually works. That's awesome. Okay, cast with bargain. We're gonna sack this. And it's bargained already, so Pestilence is gone. Okay, that's super lucky, actually. Whew. Okay, I'm very lucky they didn't use Pestilence mid-combat here. Super lucky. Pestilence once, yep. This guy should survive. No, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. So we have an oof and that's it. That's not good. I mean, it's fine, but it's not ideal, I guess. They can bring back the Cauldron Familiar whenever the hell they want. Okay. Yeah, we need definitely some help from our deck right now. That's for sure. An Avenging Hunter would be pretty sweet. Let's hope they stay out of cards. That would be pretty good as well. Nope, they don't. One of the best draws for sure. And the last thing about the Eldrazi is kind of the fact that they are actually designed really well. The keyword I mentioned at the start, the Annihilator keyword, is actually kind of like perfect for them, right? Because whenever they attack or whatever they do, they erase stuff. They erase planes, they erase the worlds, right? So when you attack and the opponent has to sacrifice permanence, that is... Okay, maybe I should have played, they have no food. This is actually good. Hold on. They're gonna, okay, they're gonna do this. Yeah, that is good. I think I want to just do this. And there's no reason to pop it right now. If they play a food, I have to do it in response though. So Annihilator was a perfect fit for Eldrazi, like 10 out of 10. Like really, really good. And, Cauldron Familiar. Okay. That's no food yet though, so I'll think I'll allow it. Rot Farm, okay. They have Devoid, or they are Devoid. They have no colors because they actually don't come from this world, right? So that's kind of the whole representation of wastes and stuff like that. More oofs, Jesus Christ, okay. So wastes and the colorless stuff the Eldrazi represent means they come, you know, from between the planes, from the emptiness and chaos between them, and they don't follow the natural laws of this world. So I think that was actually like super interesting to learn about, and that's everything I've learned about Eldrazi. Okay, Tiring Blade, sure, not a food, so that's fine. Instantly flip the blade, alright, respectable. Repurposer, do be really good. Okay, let's go to combat. We can get rid of the blade, but if they find Pestilence, we're kinda screwed. But we can get rid of the blade though. And as far as, you know, the tribal of Eldrazi goes, they seem to be really popular in Magic. Now they are pretty popular in Pauper because there is a lot of Eldrazi. I think it's very similar to elves, right? There are a lot of elves printed, and generally like elves are pretty known even between some other fantasy genres. They're gonna cast this down, huh? Looked like they want to. Interesting. I'm gonna go... Do I want to take a hit from this blade? I don't really think so. I'm gonna go Repurposer. I think I'm gonna go all in here, and we're gonna see how it helps, if it even helps. I'm gonna sack the spawn. We're gonna bargain the Sepulture. They will sack it. Okay, to Eviscerator's Insight. Reasonable. Smart. I think we're gonna crack the relic on a side of food, right? On a side of food. Pestilence. Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay. Troll of Khazad-dûm it is. Yeah, they got us this game. Like, I'm just prolonging the inevitable, right? They have us. Just remove the tribal. I'm gonna crack the relic here. Another oof. Okay, that's too many oofs, I think. Forest, let's concede. So I don't think we need this, like, this many oofs. Maybe like 3. And I think give me my Glimpse the Impossible back. And honestly, that's about it. I wish I could find an Avenging Hunter. Like, Avenging Hunter makes it really good for us if we can find that. So I think I'm gonna ditch one Blood Aspire and bring a Rumble, actually. Yep, that seems pretty good. Now we're going first. We need an Explosive Hand, which can get over the top of them. Is this a hand that can get over the top of them? I think it's not bad. I'm gonna keep. I wish I had a Forest, but it's okay. They move to 7. No, they begin with move to 6 rather. No, they begin the hand with 7 cards in hand. Okay, so this is gonna be pretty hard. By the way, let me know below if you want to hear some more facts or some more lore about some other maybe tribals or creature types. I'm actually pretty into it. You know, I figured that since we play Magic so much out here, that it may be pretty cool to kind of know about some of this stuff, right? Glimpse the Impossible. Okay, so I'm gonna play the Mountain. let's go for a Swamp Keeper. Next turn, if we don't find the land, I'm gonna go Rumble. If we do find the land, I'm gonna go hopefully Swarm Keeper. Hopefully it's a forest, but yeah, we'll have to see. They could have cast down or whatever, right? They would probably just block with the plant and sacrifice. This is what it's looking like here. Bountiful Landscape. Not a forest, but still a good card, I think. I think I just want to go with the Repurposer. Or I actually need double green. Yeah, I need double green bad. I'm gonna go Nest Invader. I need double green. So let's see if they cast down or if they instead decide to go for something like the Fanatical Offering on the plant after they block. Yeah, they'll go for that. Okay. Eviscerator's Insight, sure. I think last game, the fact that I didn't sacrifice my spawn in response to their cast down actually cost me because the blood aspirant would actually survive. Here's a nutrient block. They're gonna probably just sack the nutrient block or hold up cast down, it seems like. Okay, we're gonna sack this for a forest. Another Nest Invader, I do not hate that. I actually kind of like it. I'm gonna go Swarm Keeper. We don't have a land, so I think it's good to go Rumble here. Rumble creates a token. We do need lands, but apart from that, we can also just go Repurpose and try to Overwhelm. Is that better? Then we miss a land draw, but I think that's fine. I'm gonna try to Overwhelm them. I'm gonna go Repurposer here. We're gonna go Rumble next turn. They will cast on my guy. Probably the Swarm Keeper. Yeah, I'm just gonna go all in here until I don't have to. They have a Colony Garden. Yeah, they have an Ichor Wellspring. Sure. This tells me there may be like a Tragic Slip or something, but that's about it. We do find a forest. I actually kind of like that. So first things first, I'm gonna go Malevolent Rumble. Find a Writhing Chrysalis. Okay, let's pick up a Writhing Chrysalis. We can play a Writhing Chrysalis. I think that's what we want to do here. Do all of that pre-combat. Now Writhing Chrysalis is some very good pressure on them. We're gonna go here. I'm expecting a Tragic Slip, but the question is, okay, they didn't have a Tragic Slip. That's nice. We can go Glimpse, but first I'm gonna play all of my threats. We're gonna Lambus, which honestly, that just draws. If they find a cast down, it's good for them, but okay, I'm expecting a cast down. I think I'm gonna do things pre-combat here. Troublemaker do be really sweet, especially if they find a Pestilence, but other than that, I don't really care. Is this a Glimpse turn, right? That's my question. I think it's not. It could be a Glimpse turn. It could be, but I have only one red, so it would need to be white cards. Sorry, green cards, I mean. I would have 3 mana to pay for it. It's like fine, but I think I'm gonna go Nest Invader first. We can be aggressive and oof something, but I think saving oof for Pestilence could be probably a better option, right? This guy's a 5/5, that's actually really sweet. So that is enough damage to almost win. 7, then 7, then 13. I'm gonna sack one of the Eldrazi spawns, force them to correct the Lambus. They have Moment's Peace. Okay, that is really good. I had no idea they play Moment's Peace. That's kind of awesome for them, actually. Kind of buys them like infinite time, basically. But they need to leave up 3 mana, so it's not completely free, but it's really good. They will GFT my Chrysalis. That's fine, honestly. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And they have exactly 4 piece. Okay. Another Writhing Chrysalis. That's fine. I like that. Let's go Writhing Chrysalis. This helps us set up for Glimpse the Impossible. Probably next turn, right? Let's go to combat. Let's force them to use their Moment's Peace. Next turn we can have a pretty hefty turn with Glimpse. Yeah, that could be pretty good. I also think this deck could potentially want, instead of Glimpse, this deck could actually want Burning Curiosity. Yeah, I think Burning Curiosity could be really cool. They have a Flashback the Peace, yes. I'm scared of Pestilence, so I think I should have used these spawns as like ASAP, basically. I'm not sure how many Moments Pieces they have. My prediction is like 2, maximum 3. They probably don't play a full playset though. Here's a Troll, cycled. So they have 3 cards, Swamp, yep. They don't really have enough for like Pestilence, Activate, Moments Piece so far. So yeah, I hope these spawns will survive. If they do, we're just gonna Glimpse it. They play Swamp. They're starting off with green. That tells me this might be... Okay, it's not Pestilence. It is Eviscerator's Insight. Okay. Digging. 1, 2. Sack this. Probably searching for another Moment's Peace. Could be Weather the Storm Search. I don't really know, right? Look, Cauldron Familiar. Sure thing. Second main. Sure. They're mapping it up. That's it? You're mapping it up. Okay, in that case, I think we're just gonna go for the Glimpse. Bristling Backwoods, yeah, I'm going for a Glimpse. Troublemaker, Oof, Writhing Chrysalis. So Writhing Chrysalis is off limits, Glimpse is off limits. You can cast the Oof on the Lambus, and that's precisely what we'll do, so they can't bring it back yet. There was no reason to actually use the spawn, that was a mistake, but that is okay. We're gonna cast with Bargain, we're gonna sack this. Lambus gone, that's pretty good. We're gonna go to combat, see what they wanna do. Or slip my guy, pretty good. So they're alive, I think. If they block the 6/6, it's 4. Yeah, they are alive. No, they're absolutely alive. This might take a turn for the worse, but we're gonna see. They're gonna trade. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm gonna go backwoods, and I might just play the Oof as it is. I might play the Oof. Like, if they go Pestilence, they can activate, let's say they have a land, right? They can activate for, yeah, not enough, nearly, and they are 2. I'm gonna just play the Oof as it is. We're gonna get 2 spawns, which is cool, and we're top decking. They go Lambus, okay. Wellspring, sure. This is all search, right? They're searching for Moment's Peace, I guess. And we win the game. Great match against Food Pestilence, GG right there. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this Eldrazi lore, even though it was a little bit fragmented on my side. And I also hope you enjoyed this deck. A couple of things, I think we maybe want a couple more red sources, or we want to cut some of the aspirants. I also think that Burning Curiosity could actually be really good in this deck, so not only in combo decks, but also in these Eldrazi shells, where we actually play a lot of Eldrazi spawns to help us ramp. It could be really powerful in this. With it being said, have a great rest of your day. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and bye.